is here as well. We're so glad you're spending part of your Friday to us. I am sick and tired of the federal government lying to us. The examples keep coming up over and over again. And frankly, when I think about the long-term impact of this ICE surge in Minnesota, for me, it is the fact that I give the federal government zero benefit of the doubt in anything they ever say to us. And that is a major shift for me. I'm always a little skeptical, right? We've seen too many times the initial story of something from police officers or from politicians turns out to be spin. But man, there is something different going on right now. And we've talked for years about the fact that the idea of objective truth and the idea of what is real is being destroyed right in front of us. Have we ever seen it to the degree that we've seen it over the last month? The latest example is the head of ICE saying that those agents who said, remember the story about like, oh, we had to shoot this guy because he was attacking ICE agents with a broom and a shovel. Today, Todd Lyons, the acting director of ICE, says, looks like those two lied. Under oath. Sworn testimony provided by two separate officers appears to be untruthful. Both are on administrative leave. The U.S. Attorney's Office is investigating these false statements. There have been so many examples of lies that I think we have, I don't know, my guard is up. I don't know about you. I think it's a little too simple for people to say like, oh, I never believe the government. Well, that was always the sort of the right wing perspective. How much of what Tom Homan said yesterday with the ICE drawdown has been a pile? The main contention yesterday when Tom Homan stood up and said, you know, we finally got some cooperation. That's why we're drawing down. We said we would leave Minnesota as soon as people would cooperate. And boy, we've got such great cooperation. And I think a lot of us wondered, on this show, we have been talking for 6 weeks about when this heat about immigration policy is going to start hitting the county sheriffs. Because Mayor Jacob Fry has been in the national crosshairs. But the reality is, what power does the mayor of Minneapolis have over any of this stuff? It's the sheriff and the county that runs the jail. And so it was quite interesting yesterday when Tom Homan said, man, such cooperation. We finally got cooperation. And they said, well, you know, the state was always cooperating, actually, it turns out. And most counties have always been cooperating, but we finally got cooperation. Well, today, DeWanna Witt has a news conference, and she said, well, she didn't say it. I'm going to say it. Here's what she said, and then I'll translate it for you.
Our policies related to immigration remain unchanged. Our office is operating in the exact same way as it did when I took office here at the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office. We have not entered into any new agreements with federal government, despite what some influential leaders have conveyed.
Okay, so, I mean, that basically sounds like she's saying that Tom Homan was lying, but I do wonder, like, is it possible that, you know, the feds reached out, they said, Sheriff Witt, we want you to do this, and, you know, the sheriff didn't cooperate, and so now the feds were like, well, we got to get out of here because this is such a mess, so we're just going to take credit. You know, is it possible, Sheriff, that, like, you know, they reached out and you told them to pound sand?
Let me add, and they didn't call to ask me either.
Oh, huh. Interesting. 651-461-9226. Has your trust in the federal government changed over the last month? Because for me, the number of direct lies told by the federal government, I don't know. It's astonishing to me. It is astonishing. And I think there's no other way to discuss it other than just straight up saying they are lying to us. I don't know why the Kristi Noems of the world think that they can get away with it. I think it would be easy to sort of dismiss it and say, like, well, they always have gotten away with it. There's only one person who can lie and people accept it, and that is literally the President of the United States. And don't get me wrong, like, I've been a journalist for 25 years before doing talk shows. I know that politicians lie. But there's always been something different about the investigative arms of the federal government, where you expect that if they give you information that turns out to be untrue or different, I used to believe that it came from sort of the fog of investigations and facts change and you learn new things. But man, I don't know that in my 50 years on this planet and my 30 years of paying close attention to this stuff, I've ever had such a front row street to our own government just straight up lying to us and not really giving a crap. Jonathan in Minneapolis is with us on CCO. Jonathan, literally nothing has changed in terms of Minnesota's response to all of this since Tom Homan showed up, as far as I can tell.
Okay, first off, good afternoon, and I'm sorry I have taken a little break from you, but with everything that was going on, I thought it was best for my mouth to be quiet. So,
totally smart.
Lesson learned here, kids. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to tell you, I don't trust a single word out of any of these politicians' mouths. They say one thing, all of a sudden Tom Homan says, oh, by the way, they're not going to have any more, ICE agents on the streets. But, oh, no, they just got 16 more, cop cars. I feel like I'm living in when hell freezes over, and it's Minneapolis. And what I can say to you is this. It's watch what they do, not what they say. I can tell you the amount of times I've had arguments with people, oh, it feels safer outside. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Think about people of color. When they leave their house every single morning to go to work, they feel this with police officers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
With the ICE agents doing this to white America, and I'm speaking my own truth now,
right.
And please don't write an email to Jason, come yell at me. With that being said, white America has never felt this before. They never have felt racial profiling. They have never felt not feeling secure in their own home. If I don't know the answer to what we can do to fix this problem, because believe me, usually I can fix a problem and say, I can fix this.
Right.
This is a humanitarian problem. And for them to sit there and say to us that ICE is leaving the state of Minnesota and not leave, take your beep, 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 bleep, 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 and go someplace else, because Minnesota is all stocked up with crazy. And when somebody shows you who they truly are the first time, believe them the second time. That's all I have to say. But
Thanks.
I bless you, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate it. 651-461-9226. Pete in Oakdale texts in and says the answer is simple. Yes, I have less trust in the government. I do think there's going to be lasting impact to this. It troubles me. It's one thing for elected officials and politicians to lie to you. It's different to me when you have purported law enforcement agencies giving you BS versions of what happened. And to think that these goons fired into somebody's house, a guy who was fleeing into the house, and then they looked around and saw a shovel on the ground and a broom and made up a story that this guy was coming at them, so he shot, but somehow the bullet went through the house? Disgusting. Drive Time back in a minute here on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hey, Adam Carter here, inviting you to join me November 30th to explore tropical Costa Rica with Colette. We'll stay in the Monteverde Cloud Forest, a place you have to see to believe, where trees grow to heights of 100 feet and the wildlife is abundant, from butterflies to sloths. Enjoy breathtaking views in Nature's Museum. Visit a coffee plantation to learn the history from the bean to the cup. Plus, relax in a resort on the most beautiful beach of Guanacaste. This and so much more. Colette handles all the details: flights, meals, hotels, and local experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life. Do not miss out. Call Colette at 866-436-6734 or visit WCCOradio.com to learn more. That number again, 866-436-6734. Let's go to Costa Rica.
Finding excuses to not do your taxes? Well, you can start today and file for free with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. Just file on your own in the Credit Karma app by February 28th and you'll pay $0. Start filing for free today. Offer only for those who didn't file with TurboTax last year.
Twin City Framers is the industry leader building the largest wood frame projects in town, and they have immediate openings for carpenters. Here's the deal. Large multifamily carpentry pays an average of $5 an hour more than single-family homes. This is your opportunity to work for the best of the business and make more money today. If you're a carpenter or know someone looking for better pay, better hours, great benefits, and on-the-job training, then look no further. Go online to TwinCityFramers.com and apply for an immediate position today. That's TwinCityFramers.com.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
It's okay to be skeptical and cynical about this. I think that's part of the deal, but it's also okay to have fun.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
I do think there's another part of this situation, though. And lots of texters saying that the fact that we have seen so many lies, right? And the director of ICE said during Senate testimony this week that he does not think Renee Good and Alex Preddy are domestic terrorists, which was one of the lies that we were told. The other side of this that I do think is worth considering, Dan, is this question, because it's very clear now the mayor of Minneapolis, the Hennepin County sheriff, have both said nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. The feds can take their win if it means they're getting out of here, but nothing has changed. What I do wonder about is whether things should change. And I don't know if there's appetite for this conversation after the way that the feds came into town, right? The tactics, I think, are going to leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth for a long time. But I did ask the mayor of St. Paul yesterday on this show, do you think it's worth having a conversation about whether these separation ordinances are making us safer or are they making us more at risk? And I do wonder if now in the very liberal cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, I guess I don't know. But I'm not sure. Well, first of all, I think most people don't really understand what a separation ordinance does. It doesn't mean that the federal government can't come in and do immigration enforcement. But I will say, like, one of the things I've learned, and as I've thought about this more and watched this over the last couple of months play out, is that personally, I do think it's preposterous to put up roadblocks to the federal government doing immigration enforcement at the jails. To me, I don't want my local cops doing immigration enforcement. I don't. The people in the communities do not want that. And so to me, the cost of like losing the trust that has been built up over the years there is not worth it. But I got no problem with immigration authorities going into a jail where somebody's been arrested by law enforcement for something else.
I don't have a problem with that either. I would have a problem if the jail held that person beyond the length of time they were supposed to hold that person because ICE is busy elsewhere.
Yep, agreed.
Sorry. You know, that I don't want to see.
Nope, I don't want to see that either.
So if ICE wants to send a detainer and folks are there, go get them. If they got to be kicked loose because that's what the law says you got to do, then sorry, ICE. I mean, and I think separation ordinances to me are mostly performative. All it really is saying is that you can't use city-owned buildings or parking lots to stage from. Well, fine. There's plenty of other places they can stage from. I don't really think that slows the ICE down at all. But if you don't say that, then there are certain, portions of your city that are going to lose their minds. So I don't know. I don't know that they have an enormous effect. I don't know that I would ever say I trusted the federal government. So I don't know, I'm thinking, well, how can I trust them any less if I don't start trusting them? I do trust them less somehow. However that's mathematically possible.
I think we used to believe, like, if they told you what happened in an interaction, in a law enforcement interaction, like, I used to believe that.
Pre-George Floyd, I did.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. And even with George Floyd, the narrative that we were given was totally false. But I still am not 100% sure that version of the story was delivered to us as an intentional obstruction or lie. I'm just not sure. I know a lot of people have their feelings on that.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's very possible that, like, the version that the communications officer was given was that version, and that was passed along.
Well,
and so was that an intentional cover-up? Whereas here you've got the head of a cabinet agency coming out and just straight up lying to us.
I mean, it certainly was a lie, but where did the lie generate?
It was
the lie
untrue.
Generate but I mean, it was whoever gave the communication staff that story was lying about it, right? To cover up the fact that they just killed a guy. So I don't blame the communication staff.
I mean, I don't want to get into it. I just think that, like, it's possible that they didn't know in that immediate aftermath. They didn't know that the actions of the officer directly caused his death. That they could have truly believed in that early hour that it was an overdose.
Somewhere in the change, absolutely. But at its heart, there was still somebody trying to cover something up. But you're right, it doesn't rise to the level of a cabinet official
it's just different
standing
to me,
at a lectern
right?
and just flat lying.
No,
to you.
I'm totally with you that my skepticism, I mean, all of it really started with some of these police officer involved kind of deaths here in Minneapolis. But that one for sure was like, okay, now my skepticism of your story, government, is the same as my skepticism of a witness story.
Look, I grew up, and we've talked about this plenty of times. My dad's a retired police officer, right?
Yeah.
I grew up having been taught straight up to believe police and trust police.
Right.
That's, for obvious reasons, right?
Of course, yeah.
And I still give law enforcement, especially at the local level, a certain benefit of the doubt. But it's trust but verify. I mean, that's about as far as I can go. Is I'll give you a chance, but in the minute I smell something fishy, sorry, the credibility has been so wrecked when it comes to dealing with government at this point that I don't know how you can believe anything that they say.
Barb on YouTube says anyone associated with this administration is a master liar. We hear it multiple times a day. Trust is earned. There is zero evidence that we should believe anything they say. I do think trust is earned. And trust has been shattered in this community. We've seen them just directly lie over and over and over. And I know I shouldn't be surprised by it, but I am surprised by it, and I am upset about it. Jason, it's almost comical to see Noam Levitt and Bondi look right into the camera, intentionally tell us obvious lies, and do it with a straight face. Left-leaning centrist also texting in, saying, I have mostly trusted the government, but started becoming skeptical when they told us we didn't need masks for COVID, and then came back and told us we did need masks.
Yeah.
And now all of this blatant lying, I will question everything going forward.
You understand that one to a degree because they didn't want to have a panic run on masks when they needed them so desperately in the hospitals. I get why they lied. I don't like it, and I don't think it was a good idea. But you can at least see a certain amount of logic to it in terms of trying to protect hospitals and the hospital supplies. But yeah, that feeds into the skepticism. Now we're just right. Making stuff up, to make stuff up.
Some of you want us to both sides this, and I'm not going to. I am skeptical of everything that DFL elected officials say as well. Texter saying, I assume you're talking about the Walz Fraud Administration, correct? Or the Ellison denial of the fraud.
Knew that one was coming. We talked about it during the break. We were waiting for that text to show up. And do I believe anything coming out of the governor's office when it comes to fraud right now? Nope.
Also no.
That doesn't change a whit. Not one whit. By the way, I don't think that fraud killed anybody. Maybe we can look that up, but pretty sure there aren't 2 dead bodies being lied about by the fraud situation. So you can play whataboutism and moral equivalence all you want.
I think it's very different. Like the Walz administration has been a display of incompetence, a display of a lack of interest in details and the details of governing. It displayed a fear of being accused of being racist. All of those things, I think, are real. I think it's different. These guys, within hours of someone being killed, came up and told us a lie about it. And then we all saw the video and we're like, we had already seen the video when they were lying. It was astonishing. And then these ICE agents who have made up this story that they were attacked by a broom and a shovel. Give me a break. Just ridiculous. It's next level. 3:31, we're going to break. I think we need some love. We need some love. It is Valentine's weekend. Oh, the whatabouters are ready to go. I love you guys. I love it. Yes, many politicians for many years have lied. Press secretaries are paid to lie. Don't deny what's in front of your face, that this is a next level. Like that was JV lying. We're like on the college level now. We'll break. Flowers or chocolate? Which side are you on when it comes to Valentine? 651-461-9226. Drive time. Back in a minute.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, I was at my friend's over at J.H. & Sons earlier today, and I got to tell you, you got to get to the store. It's Jason. Kevin was telling me over at J.H. & Sons that a CCO listener came in this week and was like, this guy comes in and says, I'm here because Jason told me I got to see the store. It's at the Galleria in Edina. So this guy comes in and he's looking around, and Kevin's showing him like some of the casual stuff. And right now they've got fall and winter clothing that's up to 75% off. I saw a bunch of fall and winter sport coats that start around $300. And this is stuff, this is beautiful Italian fabric. This is $800,000-$900,000 type stuff. And this guy is like, all right. And he was a little skeptical, but he bought a couple of pairs of jeans. And, of course, J.H. & Sons, they have amazing service. They're going to tailor those jeans to fit you just perfectly. The guy picks up his jeans, comes back the next week or the next day and says, I just want you to know these are the nicest feeling jeans I've ever had in my life. Just amazing. Service is awesome. Experience is top-notch. And that winter clearance sale is on right now. I picked up a little bomber jacket at the store today. Go see Kevin, Bryce, Chuck, the whole team. I saw Jeff over there today, Jeff Halberstadt. Halberstadt's family has been dressing Minnesotans for more than 5 decades. Go check out the best men's clothing store in Minnesota, J.H. & Sons at the Galleria.
Introducing the WCCO Fan Starter Pack. Everything you need to blend in with real Minnesotans who've already mastered the art of listening to and loving WCCO. You'll get an imaginary magical station mug that refills itself every time the Twins score.
Here comes Byron Buxton. He will round. He will score!
A pocket-sized field guide to speaking Minnesotan.
You betcha.
And a limited edition Vanita Sakar alarm clock that wakes you up with...
Good morning, good neighbor. I'm Vanita Sakar.
Still not enough? We'll throw in a Jason DeRusha bobblehead that judges your brunch choices. The News Talk 830 WCCO Fan Starter Pack. Get yours today. Or just tune in. That works too.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. After my husband died, the last thing I wanted to think about was money. Ethos made it affordable to get life insurance. Signing up was fast and 100% online. I knew that I could pay our mortgage and have food in the fridge. I could focus on my kids. No one ever tells you how much you're going to depend on that policy. I am so grateful we had coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Chuck McDowell here again. Over the years, I've seen way too many timeshare exit companies pop up, take folks' money, and disappear. I just saw an ad from an exit company started by a couple of bozos that used to work for me. My advice, don't hire bozos I'll fire. Want out of your timeshare? I'll send you our free timeshare exit info kit explaining your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free kit. 800-329-3737. That's 800-329-3737.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
494 westbound in West Bush Lake Road. Got an accident off to the right shoulder. Traffic is jammed up as you come away from Penn Avenue. Traveling along Highway 62, that's all both directions between Cedar and Highway 100. 35E northbound, watching slowdowns there, Randolph into St. Paul. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast is hot. It is weird weather for mid-February. Here's Chris Schaefer.
Feels like spring out there. Partly cloudy conditions into the night tonight. 31 the overnight low. A good shot of hitting 50 tomorrow. If we do that, that would tie the daily record high for Valentine's Day. Expect plenty of sunshine as well. Partly cloudy 48 Sunday. Next best chance of precipitation, going with the P word, because it looks like rain on Tuesday. That would change over to snow on Wednesday.
Right now, it is unseasonably warm, about 25 degrees warmer than the average, 51 on CCO.
Your daily detour into sharper conversation. Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Valentine's Day is tomorrow for all of you guys out there who forgot. This is generally the guy's responsibility, right? I think so. It is go time if you're in the floral industry for sure. And my friend Susan Bachman-West is with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker hotline over at Bachman's. Family business, been here in Minnesota forever. And this, I know, I've done the live shots with all your trucks getting loaded up with bouquets of roses. Susie, how busy has it been?
Oh, Jason, this is the best week of the year, right? Getting ready for Valentine's Day. Today is Galentine's Day, so if you want to get something for your girlfriends or just your friends,
Yeah, you're not suggesting me. Just to be clear, you're not suggesting I get something.
I am not suggesting you, but girls getting things for their girlfriends, and then tomorrow is the big Valentine's Day, and we are ready.
So how does this work? Because I know a lot of people like to send flowers to their special someone, like at the office, because you get like cool points when, you impress your loved one with like a massive bouquet over at the law firm or at the hospital or wherever. Are people getting flowers delivered today, or are they more delivering to their home tomorrow? How's this working out?
It's both days. The flowers were delivered today, but we also have quite a few orders just going to the residents tomorrow. So it really kind of depends on what people's schedules are. And because of the Saturday fall, also a lot of people will stop by the store. So we have a lot of in-store pickups going to where people have placed orders and they're going to pick up. But if you're just realizing now that tomorrow's Valentine's Day, it's okay. Come into any of our stores or the London Byerly's grocery stores. We've got beautiful fresh flowers and blooming plants and arrangements, whether you have placed an order or not.
It gets so busy that you guys have like a drive-through lane, right?
Well, we have our drive-through lane for convenience. So it's called Cupid's Lane, and we have a collection of fresh flowers or plants to pick up. So if you're running short on time, or maybe you've got some young kids in the car seats and it's tough to take them out, just any of our garden center locations, drive through the Cupid's Quick Lane, and one of our associates will run out, take your order, and you can be on your way.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It is a very good idea. We're showing your Instagram video of sort of how that Cupid's Quick Lane works over at Bachman's. One of our Instagram or one of our YouTube viewers is saying flowers to your love at work today does get you points. Ask me how I know. I used to try to cheap out, Susie. I would always pick up flowers and bring them to Alyssa. And now I get flowers delivered every month to her. And that seems like to go over much better. You know what I mean?
Yes. So, the act of giving and receiving flowers is really special. So,
Yes.
In any way, there's just as much joy in giving as there is in receiving.
All right. So let me ask you this. It's mostly red roses, right?
Red roses are the most popular item at Valentine's Day, but there's a wide selection of other bouquets, and we also have an excellent selection of blooming plants that were grown down at our farm in Lakeville and Farmington. So there is really a wide selection of items at all different price points.
I wondered about tariffs because a lot of red roses come from South America or Mexico, right? Colombia, I think. A lot of red roses come from there. Shocker, we're not growing red roses for Valentine's Day generally in Minnesota, are we? Are tariffs affecting prices at all?
So tariffs do have a small effect on fresh flowers, but there's lots of different choices and price points. We've really tried to hold our prices as best we can because we know Valentine's, is a very special holiday for people. And then if you do want to go local, go with blooming plants. We have the Bachman's Watch 'em Grow, which is the bulb garden. It's a Bachman's exclusive, and that just continues to evolve and grow. And it is such a great sign of spring, which goes along quite well with this balmy weather we are experiencing.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. Yes. I do love, especially like for the kids, the Watch 'em Grow is really fun because you get to, you watch it grow. That's sort of the bit. So there it is.
You watch it grow. It continues to evolve, and it's the gift that keeps on giving.
All right. If you're a Bachman, are you getting? Do you get flowers, or is this like if you're the bread baker, you're like, I don't want any bread on Valentine's Day?
No, my husband will pick up flowers, and they will be on the counter when I get home.
Would you divorce
something special?
Would you divorce him if he picked up flowers at Trader Joe's or Costco?
Well, I wouldn't divorce him because I love him dearly, and he knows better, so that wouldn't happen.
Very good, very good. I'm glad you guys are busy, and I hope there's nothing but love in the air at all the Bachmans around the Twin Cities over the next couple of days for sure. Susie, thank you.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's.
Happy Valentine's to you. Susan Bachman-West, she is the CEO of Bachman's. I do think that it's a raw deal for men that we don't get anything for Valentine's Day. Now, Dan, you're shaking your head. You're like...
There was no head shake. There's no head shake.
It's a raw deal.
There was a bemused, head bob as I chuckled. Yeah, I know. Poor guys, they just can't catch a break.
What holiday do we get something?
Every other one.
What? Which one?
Father's Day.
Well, Mother's Day exists. Christmas exists for women.
Yeah.
Women, as a guy, you're expected to what are you going to do for Valentine's Day? I wanted to, are you guys with me on this or not? And what is the maybe best Valentine's gift that you've ever had, or the worst? I will tell you the worst Valentine's gift when we come back. 651-461-9226. Why are guys getting screwed by Valentine? I'm standing up for the man. Somebody has to stand up for the man. And who else but me? Who else but Drive Time with DeRUSH?
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, you are going to be very busy this weekend. What with the Valentine's Day and the flowers and the chocolate. And if you've got a house that you need to put on the market, you should reach out to Minnesota's Valentine, Chris Lindahl. It's Jason here for my friend Chris at chrislindahl.com. Chris has been delivering a different kind of Valentine. He has been delivering the big red check all over the Twin Cities. More and more people are saying, I do not want to deal with the headaches of selling my house. I want a big red check. I do not want to deal with the uncertainty, with the sleepless nights. Is this thing really going to close or not? You want the big red check. You certainly don't want to pay agent commissions. You want the big red check. Chris Lindahl is a local guy. He is going to sell, he's going to buy your house with a guaranteed cash offer. The open market right now, it's cold, it's uncertain. The interest rate market is all over the place. Go to the expert. You can trust Chris. He helped Alyssa and I when we were looking for a home. He is going to take care of you, and he's going to get you cash money fast, and more importantly, headaches gone. Apply for your guaranteed cash offer and get your big red check today at chrislindahl.com.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature-Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Ford near West Bush Lake Road, the activity off to the right side. Get ready for your slowdowns as you make way past Lindale Avenue, traveling 94 westbound through through downtown Minneapolis. Got a crash working near Portland Avenue to be on the lookout for. Things are slow as you come away from Riverside. 35E slowing both directions between Victoria Street and I-94. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
With a well-designed will, trust, and estate plan, you can have peace of mind. Choose Matt Gutman of Gutman Law to give yourself peace of mind. Call him now, 612-895-1616 at gutmanlaw.com. Gutman Law, peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Gutman Law, Wills, Trust, and Probate Law, gutmanlaw.com. Bring us the forecast tonight. 31 is the low. Tomorrow, 50. Sunday, 48. Mild and dry until Tuesday, when we could see rain and snow. Yeah, let's bring on the snow, because Dan and I will be in Florida. Right now, it is 51 on CCO.
Drive time with DeRUSH.
Please call into the Jason DeRusha Show.
Let's go.
If you have something to say to the people of Minnesota, say it on the radio.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Why are men getting screwed on Valentine's Day? We are getting the raw end of this deal. We're expected to go out and take care of dinner and get some flowers and get some chocolate and get maybe some like little, delicates, if you will. Debbie is in Apple Valley at 651-461-9226. Debbie, thank you for joining me in my crusade to stand up for men everywhere.
Oh, Jason, I'm going to tell you, in my family, my husband and I, we've been married 44 and a half years.
Wow. Wow.
He takes care of our anniversary, and we realized that our half anniversary is Valentine's Day. So that's where I take care of him.
Oh.
So I buy him. He loves Abdallah chocolates, Epic alligators.
Yeah.
He loves
those are so
go
good.
out.
So good.
Yeah. So I already gave those to him yesterday.
Okay.
And then tonight I'm going to take him to Fogo de Chao because that's his very favorite. All you can eat. Get the meat sweats going.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Underrated
so that's just the way we've
salad
done it.
bar, weirdly, at Fogo de Chao. It's so good. It is so
That's
good.
right. You don't want to fill up on that.
I know it's true. That's an amateur mistake. You got to save room for all of the meat.
That's true. That's true. So that's the way we do Valentine's Day.
Now,
and
Debbie,
it has worked for us for a long time.
I don't want to get too personal, but after an all-you-can-eat meat dinner, is that sort of where the night ends? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, tonight's the 13th, so we still have tomorrow.
I love it. I love it. Debbie, you're doing it right. Thank you for calling, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Jason.
That's very good. So
hold on.
What?
She brings up Fogo de Chao, and your first move is the salad bar?
Well, she said the meats are already the meat sweat. It's sort of obvious. But the salad bar at Fogo de Chao is next level. It's next level.
I know the people at Livia love you, but I mean,
I don't think that salad bar is healthy at all. I'll tell you that much. Alyssa and I used to exchange gifts on Valentine's Day. And years ago, when we lived in the Quad Cities, Davenport, Iowa, and Moline, Illinois, Valentine's Day came along, and I guess I was probably 25, she was 24. I went to the fanciest jewelry store that I could afford as a TV reporter making $18,000 a year.
So the local pawn shop?
JCPenney. And I went to JCPenney and bought her a little heart-shaped pendant.
Aww.
And like half of it was emeralds and the other half was diamond.
Or something that resembled those things.
Correct,
Yeah, right.
yes. I should say half of it was some sort of greenish
Glass.
stone. The other half. And so I gave her that. And she gave me a book. I was like, well, I think we're probably going to stop exchanging gifts on Valentine's Day.
Well, what book was it?
What?
If it's a really good book.
I don't want to say. I don't say. You ruined the story.
Oh, did I?
It was a Valentine's Day appropriate book.
Okay.
Texter says, was it a How to Make Your Wife Happy book?
Yeah.
Texters, Jason quotes the classic double entendre about Valentine's Day. Men get screwed on Wow. How dare you suggest that I was doing that on
What kind
purpose?
of lowbrow show do you think this is?
Another texter says it's called opportunity cost. That's another texter says if you're getting screwed, you're doing okay.
Hey-o.
Holidays men get, says a 651er. Fishing and hunting opener.
There you go.
It's true. Including the expensive fees and the gear. Each of those holidays lasts more than 1 day per year as well. That's true. Texter says, my husband does not like Valentine's Day. I'm not sure that I'll receive anything, but I love to give. I give gifts to my kids and to my husband, and I make a fun little display every Valentine's morning. I like that. So
do we really trust the people that say, oh, no, I just love to give stuff. I don't need to get anything?
I love to give. But what I get from giving is praise. So what I want is the praise.
There you go.
Yeah. That's fair.
You also love to get stuff.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
My
we
wife,
just got to be honest about
Alyssa's love language is gifts.
Okay.
And my love language is, those of you who know love language, you could guess. Do you know all the love languages?
Physical touch, I think, is probably where you're going.
Well,
that's one of them. Words of affirmation. Yes, I know the love languages.
Yeah. What's your love language?
I don't know.
It's useful to know. Now, our friend Adri from Ask Adri posted on X this morning. I should find her exact post because it was very good. She was making the point that, like, your job on Valentine's Day is, here it is. I don't know who needs to hear this, but it doesn't matter if you like Valentine's Day or flowers or whatever. It matters that you like that person and they like those things.
Right.
Love is consideration. Don't play yourselves tomorrow. It does seem being a good partner is caring about the other person.
If you get your partner something because it's what you really want your partner to get you, or you're trying to, that never works.
Right.
Never works. Ask for what you want. Talk about it. Discuss each other's love languages. You got to communicate, says the single guy.
I mean, these are good. These are good answers. These are good answers. We're going to do a Valentine's-themed card DeSharks coming up. So all of our questions I have found from like polls about love and relationships. So that'll be good. So if you want to play a card, DeSharks, why not call now? 651-461-9226.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS or go online at carsforkids.org to donate today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy plates, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
When it matters, this is where Minnesota turns. News Talk 830-WCCO.
KMND HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Streaming now via the iHeart and Apple
This
Radio.
is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Peter King. President Trump is headed to South Florida after a visit to U.S. troops at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and after saying that regime change in Iran would be good for the U.S.
Well, it seems like that would be the best thing that could happen.
Earlier, he spoke of the capture of now former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, CBS's Linda Kenyon.
The president visited the troops to say, job well done.
The entire world saw what the full military might the U.S. military is capable of.
Trump said the January operation was successful because of what he called the discombobulator.
The Russian equipment didn't work. The Chinese equipment didn't work. Everyone's trying to figure out why it didn't work. Someday you're going to find out.
Saying those who were in charge of protecting the now deposed Venezuelan president never got a shot off.
The Trump administration is suing Harvard University, saying it is illegally using affirmative action in its admission process. The school says it's complied with the Supreme Court's decision barring the policy. Journalist Don Lemon has pled not guilty to disrupting a church service being led by a pastor who's also an ICE official. He spoke after his arraignment in Minneapolis.
Like all of you here in Minnesota, the great people of Minnesota, I will not be intimidated. I will not back down. I will fight these baseless charges, and I will not be silent.
Also in Minneapolis, a pair of ICE officers are being investigated for lying about two Venezuelan men they arrested during a traffic stop there. CBS's Allison Keyes.
ICE Director Todd Lyons says two ICE officers might be fired or criminally prosecuted after an investigation into whether they lied under oath about the case. A lawyer for the men originally charged in the case says the charges against them were based on lies by an ICE agent who recklessly shot into their house through a closed door, and they are so happy justice is being served.
Today's Consumer Price Index report shows a drop from December to January, suggesting that inflation may be slowing down. The White House is claiming victory. Analysts say consumer prices are still about 25% higher than they were just 5 years ago. Nearly a week after she broke her leg, a few seconds into her downhill run, U.S. skier Lindsey Vonn says she's got a very long and arduous recovery ahead. CBS's Kelly O'Grady is at the Winter Games in Milan.
Now we know that she's had a third surgery and will be getting yet another on Saturday. And she shared that if that's successful, she'll go back to the States where she will also need another operation. She said she didn't know exactly what that looks like yet because she's going to need more imaging, but kind of wanted to share an update with all of the folks that have been supporting her. Kelly O'Grady, CBS News, Milan.
Wall Street, the Dow ended the day up 49 points, but still short of the 50,000 mark it hit earlier this week. This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount.
Attention.
Minnesota's trusted voice, every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mostly cloudy, 47 degrees at 4:03. I'm Laura Oakes. The city of Minneapolis requesting financial help now that the cost of Operation Metro Surge is coming into clearer view.
A preliminary assessment reveals that the months-long federal operation left 76,000 residents, roughly 20% of the city, in need of immediate food, rental, and mental health assistance. Chief Operating Officer Margaret Anderson Kelleher.
The city's very financial stability has been called into question because of the actions of our own federal government. That is why we need assistance, financial assistance, from both the federal government and the state government.
She says the city is now transitioning from an emergency response to a long-term recovery plan. Outside City Hall, I'm Taylor Rivera. News Talk 830. WCCO.
The report shows Operation Metro Surge cost the city an estimated $203 million. Between January 7th and February 1st alone, the city spent over $5 million on police, overtime, and standby. As we just heard on CBS, federal authorities now investigating whether or not 2 immigration officers lied under oath after shooting a Venezuelan man in North Minneapolis last month. ICE Director Todd Lyons says his agency has joined a probe with the Justice Department after video evidence revealed sworn testimony provided by 2 separate officers appears to have made untruthful statements. Just yesterday, a federal judge ordered all charges be dropped against the 2 Venezuelan men, one of whom was shot in the leg. The 2 officers are on administrative leave. A St. Paul woman now faces federal charges after allegedly biting off the fingertip of a federal officer. 27-year-old Claire Fang is accused of inflicting bodily injury on a federal agent. Investigators say she tackled the officer who was making an arrest. During the struggle, Fang forcibly bit the agent's ring right finger, severing the tip and leaving the bone exposed. This all unfolded during protests on January 28th after Border Patrol agents shot and killed Alex Preddy in Minneapolis. For the first time in Minnesota's history, members of the public visiting the state capitol building will undergo weapons screening. The new system is a result of an executive order by Governor Tim Walz and follows the assassination of former House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark and the shooting of another lawmaker and his wife last year. The head of the Minnesota State Patrol, Colonel Christina Bogojevich, says most states already use some type of screening at their capital entrances. She says Minnesota has been among the states with the least restrictive policies.
In the past, we wouldn't know if someone was carrying an illegal or a prohibited item. If they hid it under a jacket, we wouldn't know that unless it was used.
And Delta Airlines says it will again offer nonstop flights from Minneapolis-St. Paul to Maui beginning in December. They first tried to do this in 2023, but changed course following the deadly wildfires that destroyed much of Lahaina and the entire northwestern coast. WCCO News Time is 4:06.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Crash working downtown Minneapolis, South 35W, Portland Avenue off to the right side. Things are slow as you come down from Washington Avenue. 494 northbound, got some slowing there. Bass Lake Road into the Fish Lake interchange. Crosstown eastbound, that's jammed up as move between Tracy and 35W. South 35W slows into Burnsville as move past 106th Street to Highway 13. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jordana Green here. I pray you and your family are always safe. But if there's ever a time where you need an advocate after an accident, let Mike Bryant of Bradshaw & Bryant help you. He will work with and for you in dealing with the insurance company. Call 800-770-7008 today. Bradshaw & Bryant, seeking justice for the injured.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys seeking justice for the injured, and you can find them at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Our spring-like vibe and the winter rolls on. Partly cloudy, 31 the overnight low, which is warmer than the average high. Plenty of sunshine for Valentine's Day. A high near 50 degrees, up around 48 Sunday with a few more clouds. We should stay dry. Now, the next weather maker rolls into town Tuesday into Wednesday. Looks like initially it could be rain because of the warmth.
Mostly cloudy right now, 47 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Asking better questions, getting better answers. News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRUSH. Now, here's Jason DeRUSH.
Sort of a shocker from the Olympic Games. Ilya Malinin, the quad god, fell twice during his final skate. And he did not medal. Finishes 8th in the men's singles figure skating competition. He was widely favored to medal. And in fact, he didn't even need to kill it in that final round. There was some speculation that he wasn't going to do the famous quad axel, and because he didn't need it. He didn't need the quad axel. But pretty shocking that he fell twice.
Does he lose the title then? Is he no longer the quad god?
I don't know. I mean, he didn't flop at doing the quad. He didn't do it.
He flopped something worse. He didn't medal.
The U.S. team skated earlier today, and they did medal. They got the gold, I believe. But pretty amazing. New York Times said that the public address announcer in the arena after the performance where he fell twice, the PA guy says, "Mamma mia," which is, it does go to how shocking that result was. So I'm sure CBS will have more on that at the top of the hour. But the quad god not medaling. Big disappointment for him and for Team USA from the Olympics. Okay, nobody falls in this game. It is time to play Minnesota's fastest growing afternoon high-low related game for $50 at any of the Jester Concepts restaurants. We call it Card DeSharks. The sun is shining so warm and so bright, and soon all the ice will be out of our sight. So start out your weekend with a Friday of fun. If you play our game now, the fun's just begun. It's Card DeSharks. Kristen Olsen coming through. 2 contestants already on the line with their chance to win $50 at Parlor, PS Steak, Butcher and the Boar, Revival, the food truck, Rustica, the coffee shop. Mike is in Minneapolis. Mike, thanks for calling. Thanks for playing. How are you today?
Couldn't be better. Thanks, Jason.
It's sunshine, 50 degrees in Minneapolis. Is it too hot?
It could never be too hot. It's beautiful.
It is very nice. Although the lines at the car washes this weekend, I think, are going to be out of control. No doubt.
Agree.
No doubt. All right, stand by. Mike in Minneapolis, you are playing a special love-themed Card DeSharks against Chris in Farmington. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Jason. How are you doing?
I am doing all right. How do you feel about the warm spring-like weather right now?
Oh, I'm hoping we continue, and when you go down to Florida, I hope you bring more of it back.
There you go. We'll do our best because we want. Well, Dan is actually going to be gone for 2 weeks. Would you want to be out of town for 2 weeks on a business trip?
Well, right now I'm off for 2 weeks.
Yeah, well.
And I'm just dog sitting.
Oh.
And this is the first time I've ever tried to call in for this.
All right. Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you on the game. I've selected special Valentine's and love-themed questions for our Card DeSharks. Yeah, I know. Buckle up. So I've got. I assume that you two are experts at love. That's what I was told. That Mike and Chris are 2 of the foremost experts on relationships and love. Is that true?
I'm sure Chris has me on this.
I don't know. I was going to concede that one to you.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Here's how our game is played. I will ask a question that first will go to Mike. Mike will get this question first, and the answer will be between 0 and 100. And so Mike will give a number, and then Chris will say higher or lower. Whoever's right gets over the board, and we've got the cards right behind me, all dealt out. You can watch the game if you want. It's a little more fun to see the cards, maybe. But you can do that at YouTube, at the WCCO radio channel, or on our Facebook page. You can watch it there as well. So here we go. Mike, in Minneapolis, the first question goes to you. We asked people in a relationship. So people in a relationship, 100 people in a relationship. And we said, all right, how's it going? Are you satisfied, not with your relationship, but are you satisfied with your romantic and sex life? How many people in a relationship said, yes, I am satisfied with my romantic and sex life? Mike, are you satisfied with your romantic and sex life?
I'm very satisfied. I'm going to go with 75.
Very satisfied. That's tremendous. That's tremendous. Dan is just happy I didn't ask that question to him. And I'm happy that no one asked that question of my wife. So we got that going for us. Mike said 75. Chris, are you satisfied, would you say?
I'd say I am, but let's see, what should we do? Higher or lower on that one?
Higher or lower? 75, said Mike. Higher or lower?
I'm going to say lower.
All right. Chris says lower. Dan, what do you think? 75? That sounds, you're in a relationship.
That's a pretty good number. I think if you just play the math, you got to take the lower and see what happens.
Yep.
Out of 100 people, 60% are satisfied with their romantic and sex life. It is lower. And, Chris, that means you get control of the board. Do you want the red cards or the blue cards?
Let's go with the red.
All right, Chris picks the red. That is the bottom row of cards, and I'm going to flip over your opener. It is an ace. Nice start because an ace is high. At any point, you can freeze if you want, if it gets a little tough or you're worried you're going to get it wrong. Chris, I wouldn't be worried on an ace. You want to go higher or lower?
I'll go lower.
All right, lower than an ace. It is a 3, much lower. And, oh, boy, you are off to a good start here, Chris. Higher or lower, or do you want to freeze on that 3?
I think we'll continue. We'll go higher.
All right, higher than a 3. It is higher. It's a 7. It is a 7, and now you got a little bit of a tough one. 7, kind of a middle card. If you freeze, you prevent Mike from getting a shot. But maybe you feel like a gambler and you want to go for it. What do you say, Chris? Higher, lower, or free?
I'm going to freeze on that one.
All right, smart move, freezing on the 7. And, Chris, the next question goes to you. We asked 100 people sort of about the tradition of Valentine. You know, some people think Valentine's is a Hallmark holiday. Some people think it's a relic of an older time. We asked, do you think Valentine's Day is outdated? How many people said yes, Valentine's Day is outdated? Are you a Valentine's Day fan? I know it's sort of controversial, Chris. Some people don't like it. Some do.
I've been back and forth on that one.
Yeah. Sort of goes with how the love life is going, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, well, it all depends on. Well, it depends on lots of things. So it's some. I've had ones that don't like celebrating it, and I've had ones that like celebrating it. So.
Exactly. What do you think? How many would say it's outdated? Valentine's Day is outdated.
I would say 65%.
Chris says 65%. Mike, do you think Valentine's Day is outdated?
100%.
No.
I'm going to go higher.
A couple of guys here saying it's outdated. Mike says higher than 65. The actual number of people who say Valentine's Day is outdated is going to be revealed in just a few minutes. Drive time. Back with Card DeSharks, $50 thanks to our friends at Jester Concepts. Great place to celebrate Valentine's Day, right? How about a parlor burger? What's more romantic than an old-fashioned parlor burger? Sounds good to me. Back in a second here at CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
If the last real estate agent you hired couldn't sell your home, you need to call my friends from the John Schuster Group. Coldwell Banker Realty. Hi, it's Vanita. The Good Neighbor agent goes the extra mile. John's marketing system helps him sell houses fast for the most money possible. Curious what your home is worth? John will tell you for free. Type in your address, johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. johnschustergroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
Hey, Twins fans, it's time for spring training at Fort Myers. Cheer on your favorite team at Hammond Stadium within the Lee Health Sports Complex. Then explore our islands, beaches, and neighborhoods between games. Sink your toes into white sand. Discover lush nature preserves filled with wildlife and dine on fresh Gulf seafood. Turning your love for baseball into a relaxing vacation just feels right. Start planning at visitfortmyers.com.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog with a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Most insurance is accepted for these effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Jason DeRUSH.
You never know on this show, yes.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, Card DeSharks, in effect, Valentine's love theme. We got Mike in Minneapolis, Chris in Farmington, 2 great contestants. Chris in the driver's seat now has 3 cards turned over, just 2 to go. Mike hasn't gotten a chance to play yet on the board. The question, is Valentine's Day outdated? Chris said 65. Mike said higher. We left you with that cliffhanger before the break. The actual number, who said Valentine's Day is outdated, is just 22, much lower. And
my ESPN app is telling me I've got a 12% chance of winning this thing.
I'm surprised you did 100%.
Huh? How about that?
I'm surprised Mike said 100%.
A lot of people
didn't leave room there.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh,
most people like Valentine's Day, you two. They think it's fine. So who knew? Chris, you get...
I didn't know it'd be that low, though.
That's true. I know. That's a little lower than I expected, the outdated part of it. I suppose...
I'm going to have Chris come shopping with me tonight.
All right, Chris, here's
Where
the deal. You are on a 7, so you have the opportunity to change the card if you so desire. What do you say?
I say we change the card, Jason.
I think that's a good idea. We're going to change the card, and the 7 becomes a 5. A little A little bit better, I would say. What do you want to do on that 5? Higher or lower, Chris?
Let's go higher.
Higher than a 5. It is a 9. It is higher than a 5. And now you've got one card to go. One card to go, Chris. You're on a 9. You can freeze if you're nervous about it, and we go to sudden death, or one card separating you from the gift card. What do you say, higher or lower than a 9?
Let's freeze it.
Oh, all right. I love it. Gives us a little
game
drama.
going here.
And now whoever gets this question right is going to have a tough decision to make. Here we go. And this question goes to Mike. Mike, we asked people a number of different things that either were or were not an important element of a strong relationship. One of those things is being friends. Is being friends a very important element of a strong relationship? How many people said yes? Being friends is a very important element of a strong relationship. Mike, what do you say?
80%.
Mike says 80%. Chris, what says you? Higher or lower than 80%?
I say higher.
Chris says higher. The actual number who said being a friends is a very important element of a strong relationship, this was a real poll, a public opinion poll, is 84. 84. Ooh. Just a little higher. Mike, excellent guess. But Chris,
right in there.
But Chris, you get to make the decision. So you have a couple options here. You can try to close it out and win it yourself. You're on a 9. You do have the ability to change the card, and then you just have to get one right. The other option is to force Mike, who has not even turned over his starting card yet, to run the whole table and get flip 4 more cards over to win. Do you want to control your... This is a tough decision, actually.
And isn't it also true that if Chris decides to try the 9 or to try to flip over that last card and loses,
then
Mike automatically wins?
Then Mike automatically wins.
So Mike could win this whole thing without ever turning over a card.
That is correct. So, Chris, did we explain...
Well, you just said I could get to change the card, though, right?
You do get to change it if you want. Yep.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do, Mike? Play or pass is your first question. I'm sorry, Chris. I meant Chris. Chris, I messed up. I got a little confused there. Chris, do you want to play or pass?
Well, I want to get Mike in this game, so let's pass and let's see if he runs the table.
All right.
I think that's the proper strategy, right?
I think so, too. I would be very nervous of screwing it up with one card to go. I feel better that it's going to be hard for...
People do this in pool, so hey.
Yes, it's true. Mike, you got a chance. Here we go. Are you ready? No changes, no freezes. You got to run the table, and you start with a 6. Higher or lower than a 6, Mike?
Higher.
Higher than a 6. It is an ace. Oh, boy. Here we go. Higher or lower than an ace?
Did you say 8 or ace?
Ace. A-C-E. Ace. Lower than an ace, of course. It's a 5. And now you've got 2 more cards to go. You're on a 5. Higher or lower than a 5, Mike?
Higher.
Higher than a 5. It is a 4. It is lower. And Chris wins the game. Oh, that was exciting.
Good job, Chris.
Mike, I thought you were going to get it.
Well,
Chris, you got it.
I wanted to get him in the game.
I think that's you know what? What a display of love from these two contestants, right? That's very nice. Chris, if you had to call it on the 9, would you have gone higher or lower?
I would have gone lower.
It was a king.
So good strategy then.
Worked out perfectly for you. Mike, thanks for listening and for playing. You were awesome.
See you guys.
Chris, stay on the line. Dan will get your information, and we'll get you that gift card.
Mike.
You can use it at any of the Jester Concept restaurants. P.S. Steak is a great one for date night. I was just at Starling this week where there was a first date going on. at the bar at Starling in Edina. So tons of restaurants for you to check out. But we appreciate you listening and playing, Chris. Thank you.
Thanks, Jay.
Stay on the line. Stay on the line. Dan will get your info. And there goes Chris to hold. And pretty good. That was fun. Love. Love in the air. Uh-huh.
What was the name of that book again?
You know, Alyssa tonight, when she asked me how the show was, we're not going to speak of this. We're not going to speak of this. I have told this story for years.
How often does Alyssa say, how did the show go, Jason?
She does ask every day.
Really?
Yeah. It's sort of like, how was your day at work? So that's what she asked. Now, today, am I going to tell her that after 20 years of telling the story about how I got a raw deal and I got a book and she got jewelry, and most people just laugh it up. They're like, of course you stopped. And you said, what was the book? She's going to be so happy. Because it was a
good book.
Was a good book. 429.
You almost never are unwilling to go someplace with something like. So the fact that you're so squeamish about this book is just phenomenal to me.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it does ruin my narrative. Which, what a win for you. What a tremendous victory. I could do nothing but concede the victory. And I'm not telling you what the book is. You can text Alyssa.
Sounds like you already had your victory.
All right, we're going to break. I mean, the book did pay dividends for many, many years. Many, many years. Drive Time will be back in just a minute with the conversation. You know, Dan and I are going for spring training next week down to Lee County, Florida. And I have been curious about the recovery down there. Because, you know, they had massive damage from a hurricane, and it's been a slow process. So what will Lee County look like for Minnesotans going down for spring training? We'll talk to one of the big shots on the tourism board down there in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, this weekend, I want you to be focused on love. And part of love is providing protection, providing comfort, providing security. And for a lot of people, when you think about the perfect gift for Valentine's Day, you think insurance, like a new insurance policy, or maybe spending the day calling different insurance agents to try to compare your rates so you can give the gift of like, oh, man. Nothing better than like full and total coverage. You know what I mean? The Canopy Group is there to take care of you. They are there for your umbrella. They are there for your home. They are there for your auto. Canopy Group has you covered with a unique approach. They sort of play the field. I know this is not always the best approach when it comes to love. But when it comes to insurance, I do think that having 16 different companies to find out who's going to give you the best deal is a pretty good way to go. Having 50 professionals all on your team instead of one agent, one company. It's been great for us. We've saved $820 the first year we went with the Canopy Group, and then they compare your insurance, your needs to all of those companies year after year after year. So feel the love, and head to thecanopygroup.com.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing? Sir, I'm just writing up a warning. This make you feel like a big man? I didn't realize this would trigger a citywide crisis. Has the mayor been made aware? Sir, I wasn't going to issue... Yeah, just doing your job, huh? Oh, you're really stamping out crime, issuing parking tickets. Well, I wasn't going to, but now I am. Have a nice day.
Honey, that's not even our car.
No. Some people play golf. I do this.
If stirring the pot is your idea of fun, call us. We love a good debate. News Talk 830 WCCO.
Roses are red, violets blue, honey's sweet, but not as sweet as the deals Barufkas has for you. Up to 24-month, no interest, no down payment financing. Free Metro delivery with the purchase of a furniture protection plan. And free furniture cash with a donation to the local food shelf.
Through March 2nd.
Deals as sweet as honeydew vine water.
Oh, Jim. Barufkas. No gimmicks, haggling, or hard-to-understand pricing.
Minnetonka, Woodbury, and Burnsville.
Decidedly
sweet.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Crash still working South 35W near Portland Avenue. The activity off to the right side. Your slowdowns back at Washington Avenue. 394 eastbound's jammed up into downtown Minneapolis as you move past 100. Traveling South 35W, typical slowdowns across the Minnesota River Bridge toward Highway 13. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast time. Here is Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Feels like spring out there. Partly cloudy conditions into the night tonight. 31 the overnight low. A good shot of hitting 50 tomorrow. If we do that, that would tie the daily record high for Valentine's Day. Expect plenty of sunshine as well. Partly cloudy 48 Sunday. Next best chance of precipitation, going with the P word because it looks like rain on Tuesday that would change over to snow on Wednesday.
Oh, so sad for you guys. That's going to be awful. Right now in St. Louis Park, 46 degrees on CC.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH, video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, every chance we get to go to Twin Spring Training is a treat. I was talking to a friend the other day who was saying, like, what a bucket list item to be able to get to spring training. Dan and I will be down there starting on Sunday. And Lee County, Florida is such a popular place for Minnesotans to visit. So many of us have winter homes in Florida, in Fort Myers, and some in the Naples area as well, the neighboring county. But let's visit with Jeff Mielke from Lee County, who is with us on Drive Time. Jeff, it's good to visit with you.
Today, too.
What is the weather like in Lee County right now?
Well, it's 74, sunny. I was just at a pro pickleball event, and I had to put some sunscreen on.
Pro pickleball? Where was that going on?
That's going on at the new Cape Coral pickleball facility. It's a great venue. It's got 32 pickleball courts, and it's called The Courts. And they have a PPA pro event out there this week. And
really?
We went out there to see it. It was phenomenal.
That's pretty cool. Yours wasn't the one where there was like wasn't there a big fight, like a brawl? At a pro pickleball event? That wasn't in Lee County, was it?
That was on the other coast of Florida. It was not on the West Coast. That was over in the Daytona Beach area.
I mean, a little cliche Florida action there, right, Jeff? I thought you guys were getting out of that image for you.
Yeah, there is that meme that always goes around called Florida Man. So,
tell me your story. What brought you to Lee County, and what brought you to Florida?
Well, so I am fortunate enough to oversee the sports development agency for Lee County. So we bring in all the sports tournaments and sports business that fill hotel rooms, and that is an economic engine for our destination. A lot of it's youth baseball because we have such great baseball venues.
Sure,
but we do things like the Fort Myers tip-off, which was a Fox televised Thanksgiving college basketball tournament this year. We've hosted the high school baseball state championships in Hammond Stadium. So 23 years now, I've been fortunate enough again to lead that organization. And so, yeah, we do real well at it. We host about 170 events a year. And it's good economic impact for our community, especially in the summer and fall months.
Jeff Mielke is the executive director at Lee County Sports Development. And so obviously we know what a big impact those kind of tournaments and all of that stuff makes on our economy here in Minnesota. You guys have definitely needed that economic impact, right? Because Lee County is still sort of recovering from Hurricane Ian, right?
Yeah, we are. We're starting to say that we're as back to normal as we're going to be for a while. There's going to be a lot of construction on the beach side of things, sure. But many of the retail outlets, hotels, restaurants on the sand are all starting to open back up, and really, really healthy tourism environment. We had a tourist development council meeting yesterday, and they said the counts of traffic to get onto Sanibel Island are the highest they've been in several years. And so I think we're really encouraged by how many visitors are coming back to our destination and checking out to see what we look like now.
It is, it is always an opportunity, right? And certainly it's not an opportunity that anybody would want. But, there are parts of Fort Myers Beach that certainly were, aging. Like, it was part of the charm, I think, was that, some of these like rickety shacks that you would see along the waterfront. But seeing what's going on there now with like Margaritaville and some of the new resorts down there, it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, it is. It does give you an opportunity to modernize, and in some of those rickety crab shacks and things were some of us as locals. Those were our favorite places.
Of course, yes.
They're on the sand. You can grab a drink and a great fish sandwich or something and watch the sunset.
Same for us when we would come down for twin spring training, right? Like that was part of the charm.
Yeah, but, Mother Nature forces us to adapt, and we have certainly are becoming a more resilient community. And so the next hurricane that comes through, we won't have near, I think, the loss of property and the loss of facilities and buildings that we had, just because we'd never seen anything like that before.
Interesting. Jeff Mielke is with us, Lee County Sports Development. Okay, Jeff, so when Twins fans start coming down to Florida and coming down to Fort Myers, like, what are your insider tips? So, like, I'm a food critic for Minnesota Monthly, so I'm always seeking out, like, great little hidden gems and great places to go. Give me your pro tips. Like, where should I go?
I am a fan of several places that a lot of people don't know about. If I'm out on Sanibel Island, I certainly like Lazy Flamingo. Out on Captiva, I love going to the Bubble Room. You've got the Whale just opened back on Fort Myers Beach, which is an iconic bar restaurant that was completely washed away in Hurricane Ian. They built back into a 3-story open air, wonderful facility. Had dinner there not too long ago, and so the Whale was a great place. And I got to tell you, the food scene over in Cape Coral is pretty cool too. They just created this food truck park called Slipaway, and it's a neat place to walk around. But the food scene in that little downtown quad, probably about 8 square blocks of Cape Coral, is a pretty neat place to go.
Jeff, how significant is twin spring training and that whole spring training vibe? All the visitors for Minnesota, how significant is that for Lee County?
Oh, it's crazy significant for us. I mean, we've been doing spring training for over 100 years here, so I think that spring training is just woven into the fabric of Fort Myers and Lee County area. So, both the Red Sox and Twins combined, we did a study that they generate about $70 million of just tour spending. And so you can see that during that 30-day period to have $70 million of new money coming into our community is really important. And I think what it does too is it raises the profile of our destination so that we are a more recognizable sports destination, which then lends itself to bigger events like the Fort Myers tip-off and things like that. And it's an energy that comes here. Well over half of the fans in both ballparks are from out of town, and they bring an energy down here that's really we would miss if it wasn't here.
Yeah, there's a lot of natural beauty down there too. We've stayed in downtown Fort Myers before, which is pretty cool. like nice little kind of bar scene and restaurants, kind of cobblestone streets. Some of that is pretty cool. But then if you're out on like Fort Myers Beach, you do have that sort of like beachside Florida vibe that's beautiful. But even like close to the ballpark, close to the Hammond Stadium, you've got really great parks and great nature preserves, and there's a lot to enjoy there.
Yeah, literally right up the street from Hammond Stadium is what one of our parks called 6 Mile Cypress Slough, and it is one of my favorite places to just go take a walk, and you kind of get lost way back in the woods on a boardwalk, and I've seen everything from gators to wild hogs to poisonous critters out there that are sunning themselves on logs.
Right.
It's pretty cool to see. You really get in touch with nature out there. But there's some great things to do, and the entertainment is really popping too, with a lot of different attractions that have popped up over the last 3 or 4 years, like Top Golf and Pop Stroke, and we've got a triple decker 3-story go-kart racing track now out by Headpin's bowling center. So there's some great stuff to do here.
Yeah, I know the Twins usually do like a big party at that mini golf attraction as well. So that's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
We can't wait to get down there. We'll be down there Sunday. I'm going to stay a couple extra days, so I'll be down there Sunday through Sunday. And then Vanita Sakar will come down to do the morning news the next week. So we can't wait to get down there. And I'm sure you can't wait to have all the Minnesotans visiting. And we cause a little bit more traffic. I'm sorry about that.
We will keep it warm for you.
Very good. You can learn more at visitfortmyers.com. That's where they've got like all their tourism information, so you can plan your trip. And I'll be posting all sorts of stuff, too, on social media. Jeff Mielke, we really appreciate the time. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Executive Director at Lee County Sports Development. Can't wait to get down there. And hearing that you guys are going to have some snow here.
Oh.
I feel awful.
That's just terrible.
I feel awful about it. We'll get through. We'll power through. Drive Time is going to take a break in a minute. An update to a story that Chad talked about first yesterday. Concern that young people are they're too lonely. They're not having enough sex. There has been a development on that front, an international development. We'll talk about that when we come back.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Have you planned your Valentine's dinner yet? It's Jason here. And look, I love taking my wife out to dinner. There's no question about that. But there's something special about making dinner for somebody you love, right? And is there anything more romantic than a bone-in, succulent, juicy, tender Minnesota pork chop? Oh, yeah. There's a reason I give you an oh, yeah when it comes to Minnesota pork. You looking for love? You having trouble in your relationship? Let Minnesota pork guide you to the promised land. Valentine's night. The candles are lit. The chocolate is ready. You bought some fresh flowers. Maybe you get the morning started with some sizzling bacon. Oh, yeah. There's a phrase that the National Pork Board uses. Put flavor on the table. Taste what pork can do. Are you brave enough to taste what pork can do for you? High protein, you're going to need that energy if things work out for you. Get to the website for inspiration, but I believe I have given you all the inspiration you need. Get to that grocery store and get to that butcher shop, and let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh, yeah.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
At Target, we're unlocking all the feels this Valentine's Day. It's the perfect time to spread extra love and spoil everyone on your list with unforgettable gifts. First, give a cuddle-worthy surprise with the cutest plush toys, or get party ready and treat yourself to stylish women's dresses you'll heart. Both 20% off. Then dive into the ultimate cozy celebration with your faves with 30% off select women's pajamas. There's something sweet for all your special someones, even you. Find Valentine's Day gifts for everyone at Target.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Still some activity off to the right side as you travel southbound 35W near Portland Avenue with the crash working yet. Traffic remains tight through the stretch. Crosstown slows both directions between 35W and Tracy Avenue. Traveling north on 69, looks like we have a crash clearing out of the way near Medicine Lake Road. It is slow yet to come up from Cedar Lake Road. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Should I do the weather forecast in the style of that Minnesota pork commercial?
No, because you're going to knock out your voice for the rest of the day.
I can't do that anymore. Tonight, partly cloudy. Low of 31. Tomorrow, mostly sunny. High of 50. Sunday, 48. Mild and dry until Tuesday. Average high is 28. Right now, it's 46 in Maple Grove on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH.
This sounds like torture to me.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
I mean, before we get on to the final topic of our second hour, I do want to share your reactions. The text really all over the place on that Valentine's Minnesota pork.
When you do really good radio,
yeah,
some people are going to love it.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are going to hate it.
You are,
and if you get a little bit of both,
yeah,
you're doing some good.
I think it's something. 651. You are so weird, pork man. It's fair.
Okay.
Can't argue. 612. Dan must be hot and heavy after listening to you talking about pork.
Mind your own business, sir.
Yeah. Can't Dan do whatever he wants? Jason, the sexy Valentine pork commercial, not so much. I do really enjoy you, though. That might be the most entertaining commercial for pork that I've ever heard. Chuckled out loud several times. Well done. I would have liked to see Dan Cook's expression, says another texter during the latest Minnesota pork commercial. I should have had your camera up. I don't usually have your camera up
not during the breaks,
commercial.
Especially not during the live
because you're doing your...
I got stuff to do. Okay?
All of the audio podcast.
I'm not just here to be your audience and yuck it up for you, DeRusha.
I feel that is your most important job, though. Dan uploads all the podcasts, the audio podcast, as the show is on. So if you are somebody that you're at work and you drive home at 5, Dan has already uploaded the 3 o'clock and the 4 o'clock hours, so you can just go and catch what you want to catch in the car, which is kind of cool. All right, so yesterday, Chad was talking about a survey that showed a relatively large number of Americans are not having sex.
He was very concerned about this.
He was concerned. I was less concerned because, I don't know, who cares? Like, we know that Americans are having less sex. I think there is some concern that the reason for that is because people are very lonely, right? People aren't going out as much. They don't work in person. They had COVID, which sort of messed them up. Not having COVID, but those years of being locked down sort of messed them up in knowing how to interact. There's some percentage of actual anxiety, some percentage of normal life that people have decided is so crushing that they also can't leave their house. Like, there's a lot of that.
There's a lot of that. And then, of course, as you play that out, there's a reason our birth rate is declining so much. And that's a problem because we're going to get to a point where we don't have enough people to do the stuff we need to get done. So, well, on a personal level, it's like, hey, people should do whatever they want to do. There is a bigger picture to it.
Yeah. In the U.S., a staggering 1 in 3 men and 1 in 5 women have not had sex in the past year. So that's not great. Enter the world's heroes. The world's heroes. Because when you have a crisis, we turn to experts. We turn to the best of the best, and we say, guide us forward. We do not want to be, as the New York Post said, we do not want to be on the verge of sextinction. So who do we turn to? We turn to the Winter Olympian. Outside the Olympic Village, where American athletes are staying, there is a sign that says, you make you, period, S, period, proud.
Get it?
And do they ever make us proud?
Yeah, they do.
The Winter Olympics condom supply ran out in 3 days. 3 days. Now, in Italy, that's crazy.
There's a long-standing, you hear this story every year. There's a tradition that when Olympians get together, you've got these athletes in the prime of their life.
Would you call it a tradition?
We have this story every year, right? That
Sure.
There's all this sex going on in the Olympic Village.
Right.
3 days? At some point, are the people just walking up to each other and going, hey, you wanna?
You have the most beautiful physical specimens on a life high, right? So,
and perhaps being an elite athlete does something to the hormone level?
I would think so, right? I wouldn't know. But if you were in your 20s, right? Most of these athletes are probably in their 20s. Like, why not? Plus, like, at a certain point, whatever language you speak does not matter. You could speak the language of love.
God, you beat me to it by half a second.
Sorry. Now, some of this is that the Italians screwed it up. In 2024, the Paris Olympics, now you know what they call Paris. It's the city of love. Organizers handed out approximately 300,000 condoms. Apparently in Italy, they only made 10,000
Oh, come on.
condoms available. Now, there are 2,871 athletes in Italy for the Winter Games. So,
do the math.
Was my mom in charge of figuring that out? It's like, well, some will probably do it twice, but, one's probably good.
Okay, but 4 times in 3 days? Everybody?
I think some of these people are doing it 4 times a night.
Apparently.
Olympics. The stamina is something that a man of my age could only be envious of. Winter Olympians, we don't deserve them, Dan. We don't deserve them. Good for them, though. Good for them. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody in Italy. That's for sure. DeRUSH Hour News Headlines coming up.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
When was the last time you watched your home movies?
Disasters strike unexpectedly. Every year, American families lose the one thing they'd run back into a burning building for: their family's memories. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry.
Load Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos.
We work our digitizing magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever.
It's fast, we always send your originals back, and it's done right here in the USA.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. Better Homes and Garden, Real Simple, and Inc. magazine are all talking about Legacy Box.
New York Times columnist David Pogue says, "Have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner." Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box.
Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off while supplies last. legacybox.com/value.
The microphone at the center of Minnesota's news. News Talk 830 WCCO, KMNB HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Always streaming on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Peter King. President Trump is talking about a big change he'd like to see in Iran. His remarks coming after a visit to U.S. troops at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Here's CBS's Linda Kenyon.
Talks are ongoing between the U.S. and Iran as President Trump insists Iran end its nuclear program.
So far, they do a lot of talking and no action.
One action the president says he would like to see is a regime change in Iran.
Well, it seems like that would be the best thing that could happen.
In the meantime, Trump is ramping up the U.S. military presence in the Middle East.
Tremendous power has arrived, and additional power, as you know, and other carriers going out shortly.
Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Trump is also promising changes to an election process he claims is corrupt. CBS's Cammie McCormick says he's demanding Congress enact tough voter ID laws to go into effect with this fall's elections.
President Trump, in a Truth Social post, called on Republicans to put the issue at the top of every speech. He called it a can't miss for re-election in the midterms. He said if Congress won't approve new laws, he'll present them in the form of an executive order.
A partial government shutdown is about 6 hours away after Democrats and Republicans failed to come up with a compromise for restrictions on what ICE can and cannot do. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
It appears increasingly likely that at midnight tonight, DHS funding for the Coast Guard, for FEMA, and for TSA will lapse. Why? Because Donald Trump and Republicans have decided that they have zero interest in getting ICE under control.
Investigators hope the evidence they've found this week leads them to Nancy Guthrie nearly 2 weeks after the 84-year-old woman vanished. CBS's Andres Gutierrez is in Tucson.
Investigators did recover gloves during a search of Nancy's neighborhood. A pair was found about 1.5 miles away from here, and those have also been sent out for testing. Authorities confirm that they have received some DNA evidence results back, but none of them have led to a name for this suspect.
Tomorrow marks 8 years since the shootings that killed 17 people at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. CBS Miami's Steve McGarry says the Broward County School District commemorated the date today with a day of service.
For these students, it's a moment of reflection, reminding them to remember the 17 people that were killed in the shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. All of the victims' names were read aloud.
It just reflects on all of us. Like, it's very impactful for all of us.
The South Broward High students spent the morning with Hearts and Crafts, where they wrote inspiring messages.
Wall Street, the Dow gained 49 points. The NASDAQ lost 51. This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 Hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount.
Minnesota's trusted voice. Every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mostly cloudy, 47 degrees at 5:03. I'm Laura Oakes. Hennepin County Sheriff Dewana Witt is denying claims of a secret immigration deal with the federal government that triggered the end of Operation Metro Surge, calling allegations of so-called backroom deals false today. Witt also says reports of people being handed over to ICE inside the county government center are full of misinformation.
I get how things can be perceived, but then that's why people should ask the questions. Again, we're not going to lie about the decisions we make, whether we're right or we're wrong. We're going to stand on them, and we're always going to try to improve ourselves to be better. But no, that just didn't happen. It didn't happen for any reason to like signing an agreement or anything like that.
The acting head of ICE is accusing 2 federal agents of lying under oath regarding the mid-January shooting of a Venezuelan man in Minneapolis. In a statement today, Todd Lyons says the agents have been placed on administrative leave. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem defended the agents' actions, saying they fired in self-defense. Former CNN host Don Lemon back in Minneapolis today, where he pled not guilty to federal civil rights charges. Prosecutors accused Lemon of joining a mob during a protest at a St. Paul church where an ICE official is a pastor. Lemon addressed reporters after leaving the courthouse.
I will not be intimidated. I will not back down. I will fight these baseless charges, and I will not be silenced.
Local activist Nakima Levy-Armstrong also pleading not guilty to federal charges involving her participation in that protest. Minneapolis city leaders releasing a grim assessment of the impact of Operation Metro Surge on residents and city operations.
We estimate there are 76,000 Minneapolis residents, nearly 20% of our city, who are in urgent need of relief assistance.
City Emergency Operations Director Rachel Sayer, who says the communities hardest hit are those with the largest immigrant populations and people of color. A preliminary analysis shows more than $203 million in losses to Minneapolis's economy and its residents. City leaders say the assessment underscores an urgent need for financial assistance and could result in property tax hikes. You can find the city's full assessment on our website, WCCOradio.com. A major new security measure will greet lawmakers and visitors when the new legislative session begins on Tuesday. Minnesota Department of Public Safety Commissioner Bob Jacobson says all 4 public entrances to the state capitol will have weapons screening systems.
It is very common for other state capitals around the country to have weapons screening. So this is nothing out of the ordinary.
An independent study showed Minnesota has been among the states with the least restrictive entry policies at Capitol buildings. And how about some good news for Minneapolis today? The city's Northeast neighborhood has been nominated as one of the best arts districts in the country by USA Today. The paper's ranking specifically mentions the Northrop King Artist Building and the annual Art-A-Whirl Festival as highlights. Voting closes on Monday, February 16th. WCCO News Times, 5:06.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Eastbound 394 still a bit slow as make way between Worth Parkway and 94. 35W southbound Portland Avenue still got the crash off to the right side down to the last vehicle or two. In the meantime, get ready for slowdowns past Washington Avenue. Traffic along 35W southbound slows across the Minnesota River Bridge. Over on the east side, East 94 looking good just past Highway 52 all the way out into Wisconsin. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Washburn McCreevy Funeral Chapels and Cremation Services has been providing compassionate and personalized service for over 160 years. Honor your loved one and ensure your own wishes are met. Call 612-377-2203 or visit washburnmccreevy.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Washburn McCreevy Funeral, Cremation, and Pre-Planning Services. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Our spring-like vibe in the winter rolls on. Partly cloudy, 31 the overnight low, which is warmer than the average high. Plenty of sunshine for Valentine's Day. A high near 50 degrees, up around 48 Sunday with a few more clouds. We should stay dry. Now the next weather maker rolls into town Tuesday into Wednesday. Looks like initially it could be rain because of the warmth.
Mostly cloudy right now, 47 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
From Lake Street to Lake Superior, we are Minnesota. We are News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRUSH. Once again, here's Jason DeRUSH.
Happy Galentine's Day to everybody. Do we do Galentine's Day on a Friday night? You know, sort of the bit is like, you hang out with your gals if you don't have a Valentine?
Now shut up and drive.
I don't know. I don't fully understand it. I'm not a gal, I guess. These days, I don't know. Galentine's Day, it always struck me as like, it comes real close to celebrating Mother's Day when you have a dog. You know, it's like, it's okay to be single. It's great to be single. There are days that my wife wishes she were single, I'm sure. But like, what about the single dudes? Maybe Dan wants to go to Duden Times Day. Bro times.
Nah, I'm good.
No? I don't know. It's good. I do hope, before we get started into the DeRUSH Hour News Headlines, and we heard Laura in the news talk about sort of the mayor saying that they need some help and they need some money to support the businesses. And the Minneapolis-St. Paul Business Journal has also reported that, you know, it's not just city restaurants that have been slow and struggling since since the surge, that it's suburban, it's greater Minnesota. And I will say this. Don't count on anybody to bail us out. And we don't need it. We need to step up and support the people that we want to be around, that we're glad are part of our communities, that sponsor the softball teams or the youth soccer leagues and the band and the drama. And we need to do it ourselves. People in Minnesota, right outside this window, 20, 30, 40,000 people, stood up and told the federal government that things that were going on here, in their view, was too far. And so we can go support our local flower shops and retail, but we have to do it ourselves. Don't sit around waiting. Do it ourselves. We take care of each other. We save Minnesota. We don't need anybody. If someone comes and helps, great. But we don't need it. You can do it yourself. And you can make Valentine's Day last all month. And you can make Galentine's Day last all month. And you can book a staycation at a hotel. And you can go out of the way to the local hardware store instead of going to the big box store. You can do it. We can do it. And so I don't want us to sit around waiting for some sort of bailout that probably is never going to come, and it's never going to be enough. And so forget the politicians. They didn't help us really out of this surge of ICE agents in Minnesota. So keep standing up for your neighbors and do it by helping the businesses. That's what I think. Let's do the DeRUSH Hour News Headlines.
The headlines you might have missed. without missing a beat. This is your fast pass through the biggest and most impactful stories of the day. Welcome to the DeRUSH Hour Headlines, starting with the lead.
And the big headline all around the country has been about Don Lemon appearing in a Minneapolis courtroom. Well, it was St. Paul, I should say. It was U.S. District Court in St. Paul. It was a media frenzy as independent journalists, people with cell phone cameras, media from all over the country, everybody's there covering Don Lemon. And Don Lemon pled not guilty and invoked the spirit of Minneapolis and said he was going to stand up, blah, blah, blah. Perhaps more interestingly was the case filed by Nikema Levy Armstrong, civil rights activist, civil rights lawyer. And in her filing with the government, she talked about her arrest. And it goes to the theme that I brought up in our first hour about the lies that the federal government tells us. The federal government insisted on actually coming out, cuffing, and arresting Nikema Levy Armstrong when she and her attorney had offered to turn her in. They told her that they weren't going to put her arrest, the picture they took, it was just for internal records, and a couple hours later it was on social media. It goes to a dishonesty in the process. So you can look at, and I look at what Nikema Levy Armstrong and what those agitators did storming into that church, and I think they absolutely should be charged with trespassing, with disturbing the peace. Could make a case that that's enough. Federal charges for this, I think, are crazy, and Don Lemon is highly likely to be exonerated. Legal experts saying that the charges are difficult to prove when you have good evidence, and in this case, not good evidence. Also, keeping an eye on the fact that the narrative yesterday was that Minnesota started cooperating, and that's why ICE announced they were going to pull out agents over the next week. But the Hennepin County Sheriff said that there's been no change in any policy when it comes to immigration enforcement.
Our policies related to immigration remain unchanged. Our office is operating in the exact same way as it did when I took office here at the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office.
So no change, she says. We haven't heard from Ramsey County Sheriff, which Sheriff Fletcher, it's sort of unusual to not hear from him. He is very media friendly, answers questions often. But in Ramsey County, the county board there had a longstanding policy about separation policy, that the jail would not be involved in immigration enforcement. And so we don't know what happened there. But otherwise, we have not been able to find a single example of a real change in policy here. I'm not opposed to more cooperation, to be honest, and I have a lot of questions about whether a separation ordinance is the right way to go. But when the federal government comes in and says everything's different, and the locals say, no, it isn't, it just goes to the nonsense of all of this. Did you see the Super Bowl ad for the Ring camera and how that camera could be used to find a lost dog?
One post of a dog's photo in the Ring app starts outdoor cameras looking for a match. Search Party from Ring uses AI to help families find lost dogs.
It's a pretty interesting commercial. It got me going to my Ring app to see, how does this work? Because I have a Ring doorbell camera, but I have opted out from sharing video automatically with law enforcement. Not that if something had happened and law enforcement comes by, I'd be more than happy to help out. But I don't want a live stream from my house going to the government. No thank you. Well, the backlash, is this the least successful Super Bowl ad in history? because Amazon has ended its deal with a security company called Flock Safety after the backlash from the commercials. CBS News reporting that even though Search Party was unrelated to this company, Flock, the backlash was so strong that people are like, we're done with Amazon. We're done with Ring. We're not going to do it. Amazon said, look, the integration between these two never completed. And the dog thing is different, but it is a reminder, I think, for many of us who have these cameras in our front door that, the question is, are we taking part in surveillance, massive surveillance, under the guise of like, well, now you know who's at your door? Pretty interesting. But the backlash was swift. One more note before we go in depth on the issue of new gun registration in Minnesota. The head coach of the University of Minnesota's football team just got a big raise. PJ Fleck will receive $700,000 in annual bonuses. His compensation is now $7.9 million a year. The U says, before everybody sort of loses their mind about this, it still ranks 10th among head coaches in the 18-team Big Ten Conference. Although, frankly, we sort of finish in the middle of the Big Ten. Maybe that feels right. Although, I guess our teams finished 7th in the league with 5-4 records in the Big Ten each season. It's called a management bonus he gets. They changed his other incentives, too. He'll get more if he wins 8 Big Ten games. He'll get like a little more money. Well, a lot more money. His earlier contract would have given a $100,000 bonus for winning 8 games. Now he'll get $750,000. I do think if the Gophers win 8 Big Ten games, everyone's going to be like, take $750,000, man. It is crazy money, right? It's crazy money. And it's not outrageous for what you would want your head coach to be. It's just sort of where it is. 5:19, we'll break in a minute. Fascinating new information on the number of people during the ice surge who are, for the very first time, getting a handgun. Minnesota with some new data, new stats out. We'll talk about the surprise in who is buying guns. That's coming up.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hey, Adam Carter here, inviting you to join me November 30th to explore tropical Costa Rica with Colette. We'll stay in the Monteverde Cloud Forest, a place you have to see to believe, where trees grow to heights of 100 feet and the wildlife is abundant, from butterflies to sloths. Enjoy breathtaking views in Nature's Museum. Visit a coffee plantation to learn the history from the bean to the cup. Plus, relax in a resort on the most beautiful beach of Guanacaste. This and so much more. Colette handles all the details: flights, meals, hotels, and local experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life. Do not miss out. Call Colette at 866-436-6734 or visit WCCOradio.com to learn more. That number again, 866-436-6734. Let's go to Costa Rica.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-455-5544. 800-455-5544. Again, that's 800-455-5544.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH, video streaming live on YouTube and always, and I mean always, on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
DeRUSH Hour News Headlines, going in-depth now with one of the lasting effects, the lasting after effects of the ice surge. More people in the Twin Cities and in Minnesota are going to have guns. The number of sales in the Twin Cities, a Minnesota Star Tribune analysis says it's the largest year-over-year leap since the pandemic. We wanted to bring Rob Doar in. He is with the Minnesota Gun Owners Caucus. Rob is on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Rob, thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
So is this a good thing or a bad thing? I'm unsure how to read this. It is certainly an interesting reaction to the fact that there was this surge here.
Yeah, there's kind of two main factors that we see that are strong motivators for people buying firearms, getting their permits to carry. One is civil unrest, which we've certainly seen, and then secondarily is kind of the actions of an administration, and we certainly have that as well with both the ICE presence, but also rhetoric from the president himself, from Director Patel, from Secretary Noem, that have some adverse implications about people's rights.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. When you hear the White House talking about whether or not people should have or should be carrying guns to protest or things like that, that is something that could motivate people to say, well, if I've been on the fence, now I better go get it before they take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a strong motivator.
Rob Doar is with us. He is the president of the Minnesota Gun Owners Law Center, the general counsel of the Gun Owners Caucus. So one of the things I'm interested in is the fact that these permits, applications for permits, really spiked in Minneapolis and St. Paul. We saw it happening in Brooklyn Park, in Woodbury, and Maple Grove as well. They were doubling their sort of normal January number of applications. But, you're talking about in Maple Grove, 77 applications. In, Woodbury, it was 69. And, so these are big jumps for the suburbs, but in St. Paul, you saw 225. In Minneapolis, you saw 350, more than tripled. What this tells me, and I'm curious what you think, it tells me that these are Democrats and Republicans. This is not necessarily a political affiliated move. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is going to be a lagging indicator as well, because in order to get your permit to carry application in, first you have to take a permit to carry course from a state certified instructor. And from what I'm hearing from those instructors is their classes are doubling and tripling in size. Stock and Barrel Gun Club has had to add numerous weekly classes to try to meet with demand. So I think these numbers are going to be increasing as people are able to actually complete their classes. But also what I'm hearing from the instructors is that the demographics are quite a bit different. It's not your kind of typical middle-aged white guy or older white guy who's applying. One instructor told me, he's like, I had more blue-haired liberals in my class than I've ever seen before. So I think the demographics of the classes are also different than what we've seen.
Certainly we saw the video of Alex Preddy with his handgun in that initial video and then again on January 24th when he was killed. I do wonder, that sort of, it breaks up the narrative a little bit.
Yeah, and Minnesota's always been a bit of an anomaly along those lines. Like in 2003, when our permit to carry law was passed, it was passed with Democrats in control of the Senate.
True.
Then we had leaders Tom Bach, Dave Tomasoni, so Iron Range Democrats who were always strong supporters of gun rights. And the DFL, the labor unions, overwhelmingly, particularly in the trades, have a lot of gun owners among them. So we always have had this kind of interesting Venn diagram of gun ownership in Minnesota. But now we're seeing this move, and it hasn't been just recently. This has been something that's been kind of remarked in the past 5 or 10 years, where people who are generally more liberally aligned have been, exercising their right to carry. There's been kind of an explosion of gun groups online. There's a liberal gun owners Reddit that's very popular. We've seen the emergence of, Socialist Rifle Club, things like that. So it is becoming a much more diversely exercised right compared to what people kind of stereotypically think about gun owners.
Do you think it's driven by whoever is fearful that the federal government is infringing on their rights? It seems like that used to be a right-wing concern, and now it's a left-wing concern.
And I think, we're seeing it before our eyes. People have varying degrees of perceptions about the federal government's action in Minnesota. But even, former Representative Dean Phillips said on X that he used to laugh at Republicans who talked about, needing the Second Amendment for government overreach. And then he apologized to them because, he's getting the idea. Now, I'm not certainly advocating for that, but I think it is something that's in people's minds.
It's all very interesting. I do think there will be some in our audience who will be concerned about this from a safety standpoint. But the data, ever since Minnesota allowed people to carry, with a permit and with the course and all of that stuff, there really is no data to indicate that that has been a negative in any way.
No, and in fact, the data goes the opposite way. Minnesota is one of the only states, and maybe the only state, that actually tracks every single crime that a permit holder commits, whether or not they had a firearm. So if you are a permit holder and you get a DWI, but you didn't have your gun on you, that data is transmitted to the BCA and is included in the annual report. And what we see is, depending on the crime, Minnesotans are 5 to 10 times more law-abiding, or permit holders rather, are 5 to 10 times more law-abiding than just the public at large. So I'm certainly not concerned about people who have gone through the class and gone through the background checks being any greater risk to public safety.
Really interesting stuff. Good work by the Star Tribune to dig up that data, and great insight and color from you here, Rob Doar, for the Minnesota Gun Owners Caucus. Appreciate it. Thanks, Rob.
Anytime, Jason.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
The Firefox search engine is adding new AI controls, which will allow users to determine how much artificial intelligence impacts their search results. Firefox owner Mozilla says the new AI controls will provide a single place to block current and future generative AI features in Firefox. Users can also review and manage individual AI features if users choose to use them. I'm Jason Brooks.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Jordana here. Resolution or not, if you haven't made a plan yet, I'm talking about a life plan, an estate plan, a plan for, your stuff. I know you don't like to think about what might happen if something happened to you, if you became incapacitated or even worse. But you know what? You got to do it. If you don't have that will or living trust or a power of attorney or a healthcare directive, consider this your swift kick in the pants to get it done. And when it comes to estate planning, I recommend my dear friend, Matt Gutman. Matt has helped me so many times. I'm talking medical powers of attorney, plans for the kids when they go off to college, and his full estate plan for me and for Mark. He's done it for my family. He can do it for you too. He and his partner, Jamie Ref Wagner, will do an incredible job for you, and you will be happy it's done. Call Gutman Law today, 612-895-1616. GutmanLaw.com, 612-895-1616. GutmanLaw.com. Peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Honey's sweet, but not as sweet as the sweet deals Barufka's has for you.
Your poetry needs work.
I'm waxing poetic over Barufka's Sweet Deals event. Up to 24-month, no interest, no down payment financing. Free metro delivery with the purchase of a furniture protection plan. And free furniture cash with a donation to the local food shelf.
All of Barufka's furniture is manufactured in North America, and 95.67% is made in the USA. Upgrade your home with living room, bedroom, and dining room furniture and mattresses through March 2nd.
Deals as sweet as honeydew vine water.
Oh, Jim. Barufka's, no gimmicks, haggling, or hard-to-understand pricing.
Showrooms in Minnetonka, Woodbury, and Burnsville.
A recliner, a bed, or a sofa that's red. Barufka.
Decidedly sweet.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At the UPS Store, we know being a small business owner means holiday time is still go time. Still get those orders shipped time. And still re-up on stamps and supplies time. That's why this upcoming holiday, while others close up shop, we'll be open. And happy to help you keep being unstoppable. Come into your local store today. Most locations are independently owned. Product services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
West 94 slows through Minneapolis as you make your way between Cedar Avenue and the Lowry Hill Tunnel. 694 is jammed up both directions between 35W and Central Avenue. South 35 East slows through downtown St. Paul as you head down toward Grand Avenue. And Cedar South, that's running smoothly. Speeds at the post at 494 into Apple Valley. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast now. Why don't we check in with Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer?
Feels like spring out there. Partly cloudy conditions into the night tonight. 31 the overnight low. A good shot of hitting 50 tomorrow. If we do that, that would tie the daily record high for Valentine's Day. Expect plenty of sunshine as well. Partly cloudy 48 Sunday. Next best chance of precipitation, going with the P word, because it looks like rain on Tuesday. That would change over to snow on Wednesday.
Right now in downtown Minneapolis, it's too warm. It's too warm. It's like 50 degrees. No, it's down to 45 on CC.
Jason DeRusha.
I mean, the truth is, I am a terrible influence on Minnesota, on America, and perhaps the world.
Well, I've known that for years, but other people are just finding out.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
On this Valentine's weekend, we thought it'd be fun to talk about the steamy new movie that is out, and I have seen many trailers, many ads for this movie over the last couple of months. So anticipation was high for the adaptation of a book that a lot of us read when we were in either high school or 8th grade, Wuthering Heights. And our Gen Z movie critic, Charlie Oakes, has seen it. And Charlie's with us in studio. It's good to see you. Happy Valentine's Day weekend.
Yes, happy Valentine's Day weekend. Good to see you.
Wuthering Heights, this adaptation, as always when you have a classic book, is going to be controversial. But the idea here was to try to, you look at sort of the steamy, sexy period pieces that are out in the popular culture right now this is sort of designed to captivate your generation, right?
Totally. Yeah, it's exactly that. I mean, speaking of you seeing all these trailers for it, I mean, I remember back in November I was seeing trailers for it, and
Right.
it's
Right.
been in our face for a couple months now. So yeah.
So the expectations were high for this movie, but the reviews so far have been pretty low.
Yep.
And so you saw this movie when?
I saw it last night.
And your reaction is?
My reaction is a 2.5 out of 5.
Okay. That's pretty low.
Yeah.
That's pretty low. Why don't you give me the thumbnail of what the story of Wuthering Heights is? Because you hadn't read the book, and I'm sure plenty of our audience barely remembers it. So what's the story?
Yeah, the story is Catherine and Heathcliff. It's a love story between them. They grow up together in a kind of mountainside village that her father owns called Wuthering Heights. And it's kind of about how Heathcliff is kind of the servant there all of their life, and then they separate. She marries Rich, and it's kind of about her coming back to how her heart feels and finding Heathcliff in the end, and kind of the family trajectory on that, and how each of them kind of took different paths and how they end up coming together back in the end.
The main characters are tremendously successful and hot actors, right?
Yep. That was very intentional. And that's it's going to be a hit. It's box office wise, it's going to be a hit, I think. I mean, it's almost hard not to be with Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie. I mean, and then both of them together, and then the soundtrack by Charlie XCX. It's very pointed towards our generation.
And what do you think? I mean, are people so far? I will say, the online reviews that I've seen, the TikToks, it's not hitting. I don't know that it's hitting with your generation. What do you think?
Yeah, I think people are upset about the book and the inaccuracies and the going from page to screen, but
now,
it's not.
That's sort of stupid,
It
right?
is stupid.
First of all, there is no way that you could take a classic piece of Emily Bronte literature, and I mean, the book was long.
Yeah.
The movie would have been 12 hours long if you included all those characters, all that plot development. It's just you're going to have to drop some stuff.
I think it's silly, and it's not like the director came out and said, hey, I'm going to make this extremely accurate to the book, and I'll be sure to live up to everyone who read it, and it's going to be just like the book. It's like she can do it her own way. You know, it's for movies. It's for entertainment. It doesn't have to be 100% accurate.
Do you think voracious readers are they annoying when it comes to watching a film adaptation, or are they extremely annoying?
Probably extremely annoying, because they'll let you know they read it and that the book is better. It's why is that even a comparison?
Is that the goal, you think? Is it just the flax to be like, well, I read it?
It's a good chunk of it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You have to make, the director, who is a controversial, provocative director, right?
Totally.
Emerald Fennell.
Yep.
And the director defended her changes. She's like, look, you have to make those hard decisions. And one of the changes from the book was that these two characters do have sex in the movie, which did not happen in the book.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's just show business, you know? It's like you got to get Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie in there. There needs to be this ongoing tension build, and you kind of got to pay that forward. At the end of the day, it's a movie with two superstars.
I mean, it's not like back in the old days, you'd be watching Cheers and wondering if Sam and Diane were going to get it on. Now you're going to the movie. I do wonder, what sort of influence there is when you look at, Bridgerton, which Bridgerton is so popular, and it does have that sort of, that sort of period piece vibe that also has, a lot of taboo sexuality to it.
Yeah.
Was this movie, did you find it, is it sexy? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, yeah, it is. I loved the costume design. I mean, it was a very visually pleasing movie, very nice color. It looked really good. And I think that kind of adds into the sexiness of the movie, because it's about them kind of falling in love, and it's helpful to have nice scenery around.
Right.
So that part was, I enjoyed.
The New Yorker, in their review, said that Wuthering Heights never plumbs the depths, so that they described it as superficial, where it just sort of sat on the surface of the relationship and you never...
Totally.
And that's
very accurate. I found it boring. And, 2 hours and 16 minutes, decent runtime for an adaptation of a classic novel, I'd say.
Sure.
Yeah, pretty boring. That's a good way of putting it.
Valentine's weekend coming up as we talk with Charlie Oakes, our Gen Z movie critic here on CCO Radio. Coincidentally, same last name as newswoman Laura Oakes. Love stories. I mean, movies have like 3 genres, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like the big action movie. It's the lot of blah, blah, blah type movie, or it's a love story. When you think of Valentine's weekend, and maybe people could text in too, it's 651-461-9226. Best love story, best movie with a love theme, what is it for you?
I'm going to go About Time. I love that movie, and I only saw it for the first time maybe a year or so ago, and that's just a great movie. It's more than a love story. It's just entertaining all around.
I don't know that I've seen the movie About Time. About Time is Rachel McAdams?
Yep. And Domhnall Gleeson, son of Brendan Gleeson.
Oh. And what's the bit? What's the story?
The men in the family can go back in time, and it's about actually Margot Robbie's in this one too.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. The men in the family can go back in time, and it's kind of about him trying to be like the perfect guy to get the girl and fixing his mistakes, and at what cost, does going back in time have on his future?
Kind of it's streaming on Peacock right now, but yeah, I don't know how I missed that one.
That's a must-watch this weekend.
Did you see that movie, Dan?
Honestly, I've seen clips of it on TikTok, so that's my awareness of it. Bill Nighy, right, plays his dad.
Yeah, it's really good. I'd recommend it.
Some great dialogue scenes in there. So
totally.
All right.
Very entertaining. See both. See Wuthering Heights and About Time.
It's not the Han and Leia story arc from Empire Strikes Back into Return of the Jedi in terms of love stories, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, it is good.
Now, a texter says, when it comes to Wuthering Heights, call it something else if you don't want to follow the movie or follow the book. Don't call it Wuthering Heights if it's a totally different story.
Yeah.
That's kind of an interesting debate. There have been a number of film adaptations of Wuthering Heights that were not necessarily called Wuthering Heights.
Right. I think I kind of agree with that. I also just
do you really expect to go see a movie and just I love this book, I want to see the movie play out the same way the book does?
Yeah,
maybe people do.
It's tough to say. I haven't read the book. If I had read it, maybe I would have more of an aggressive feeling on that.
But in general, when you're talking about adaptations, your expectation walking into a theater is that there's going to be changes made from the book, because you can't just literally film a book.
No.
So as long as it sticks to the Lord of the Rings, people love those movies, won, how many different Academy Awards. There's significant differences between those movies, which people absolutely love, and the books.
Yep.
It just has to be that way. As long as the story basically is the story, how you get to certain beats of it is going to change.
Agreed.
Audiences sort of need to grow up a little bit.
I would have to agree.
And this director said that her version is supposed to be a reimagining. It's not really. You could describe it almost as fan fiction in a way.
Yeah.
You're taking some of the character. It is. I don't know. Your point is that whatever it is, it's still kind of boring.
I think the anticipation of this movie outshined the end result completely. They knew what they were doing, getting Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie. They've had a big press tour for it, and we started seeing teasers in November. They knew what they were doing, but it's like the number one rule in an alien movie: never show the monster in the trailer. Never, build up that anticipation and wait until the end and really build up that moment. And I think here we were almost spoiled a little bit. I mean, there was also a song in this movie that has been viral on TikTok for maybe a month now. So people have been exposed to that. And then when that plays in the movie during the serious scene, it's like, oh, now I'm just thinking about TikTok memes. So that's another thing. Overexposure.
It's a problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Love story from the 1980s, says a texter. John from Chanhassen tells the story of taking his wife to see Pulp Fiction on their first Valentine's Day.
That's awesome.
He said it almost broke us up, though. 32 years later, have not made the same mistake again.
I think that was a good choice.
That's
it's
pretty
clearly-
good.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
that's a good one. Was that so that was a Valentine's Day release? Must have been.
Well, movies were also like in the theaters forever.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
Right? When was Pulp Fiction a Valentine's Day release? No,
it was October.
October. And it was
Like-
still in theaters?
Well,
Maybe it was in the cheapo theater.
that's right. That's the question. Did you go
So
to
was she objecting to the theme of the movie, expecting it to be romantic, or was
Yeah.
she objecting to the fact you took her to
She
a
was
cheap
mad. That's right. Oh, that's pretty funny.
Romantic or not, you were entertained.
I do think like going to a movie for a first date is probably a bad idea because you don't talk at all.
Yeah, I think so too.
But for a date, it's a great idea, right?
Oh, yeah. It's like a good, third, fourth date.
Third, fourth
You
date.
got to know who you're next to at least and kind
True.
of feel maybe, what do they think? How are they feeling about this? And then that kind of sparks conversation after.
You want to pick the right movie, probably Pulp
Yeah.
Fiction. A Tarantino film is not going to be your move.
Probably not.
Probably not your move.
No.
Have you ever made out in the movie theater? Charlie Oaks.
I
mean,
put him on the spot. Why don't you?
I'm too focused on the cinematic masterpiece before my eyes. I don't have time for any of that.
But that's what I would think as a movie critic to go into a theater.
Yeah.
and- I mean, that honestly.
It'd be a heck of a move.
Well, the movie must stink if you're like, well, or the makeout is that good. Where you're
I think
like,
that's a
this would
movie
be
thing. I don't think anyone actually does that.
I wonder about that too. I have never seen people like going at it in the movie theater. Have you, Cook?
I don't think I've seen it.
But it
no.
feels like this is like a trope in movies.
It definitely
right?
is.
Totally is. Maybe it was a long time ago.
Maybe like there was nowhere else to go to hide. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really get that. Like, you're here to see the movie. Let's just watch it.
Are you though?
Yeah.
Maybe you're there for that tender moment when two hands separately meet in that tub of buttered popcorn, and then you go.
I will say, Wuthering Heights, you should go see it. It wasn't my favorite, but you should go see it.
Why? You just said it's terrible.
I'm happy I saw it. It wasn't my favorite. I don't love every movie I see, but I think you should see it. I
All
think
right.
you should be part of the conversation of,
Well, then you can. That's true.
you know what I mean?
All right.
Be involved.
Stand by. Text if you've ever made out in the movie theater. Text in at 651-461-9226. Drive time back in a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO. If your reaction to today's news was, hey, wait, what happened? We've got you. Get a 6 to 7 minute daily podcast of what took place today and why it matters with 830 on the go. So you can go into tomorrow like you were paying attention the whole time today. Look for it on all our social platforms. 830 on the go. You're welcome.
All right, it's Jason. I was at the Livia Weight Control Center in Minnetonka today. And let me tell you, what a beautiful center. And I saw so many friends who have helped me get across the finish line with my weight loss, 45 pounds gone. But more importantly, they've helped me stay across the finish line. We were talking today about kind of what the key was, what the key to success, what was the hardest thing. And for me, the hardest thing was deciding to do something. Look, we've all tried stuff. Weight loss sometimes just feels harder than it should. But if that's your situation, this is your moment. For more than 15 years, Livia has helped thousands of people lose weight. And the way they're doing it right now is so cool. Physician-led care, GLP-1 options, personalized nutrition, hormone support. All of it working together under one plan. This is way more than a prescription. It's a total team there to support you every step of the way. You could be 15 pounds lighter by this spring, and that weight's not coming off. Livia is going to help you get there. Stop starting over. Start with Livia. Visit Livia.com. Book a free consultation today.
Staples has hot deals and super low prices on everything for your business. And right now, brand your business at Staples with up to 30% off custom labels. Exclusions apply. Shop Staples in-store, online, or in the app. Ends 4/18. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people with chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aids that don't solve your problem or sledgehammer solutions like surgery. Our unique Advent approach can, with a 20-minute in-office procedure, open your blocked nose for good. Outside of Advent, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here, in-office solutions can help you stop the Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventnose.com to schedule your appointment. Most insurance accepted.
Some things are easier said than done, like packing your carry-on and getting everything to fit. Whew. Other things are easier done than said, like getting $500 cash back when you open a new TrueStone checking account, so you can bag back some cash back to stash in your backpack. Hard to say, but easy to do, because our digital switch kit makes setting up your new TrueStone checking account practically effortless. Easy and $500? It's true, because we're TrueStone. Open by December 31st, and within 60 days, set up a $5,000 direct deposit and e-statements. Membership required.
Hey, Adam Carter here, inviting you to join me November 30th to explore tropical Costa Rica with Colette. We'll stay in the Monteverde Cloud Forest, a place you have to see to believe, where trees grow to heights of 100 feet and the wildlife is abundant, from butterflies to sloths. Enjoy breathtaking views in Nature's Museum. Visit a coffee plantation to learn the history from the bean to the cup. Plus, relax in a resort on the most beautiful beach of Guanacaste. This and so much more. Colette handles all the details: flights, meals, hotels, and local experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life. Do not miss out. Call Colette at 866-436-6734 or visit WCCOradio.com to learn more. That number again, 866-436-6734. Let's go to Costa Rica.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Amber Scholl of Scholl & Associates, American Family Insurance. Got your slowdowns continuing west 494, 28th Ave, heading out to 35W. The crosstown slows both directions between 100 and 35W there. 694 eastbound, some slowing, Silver Lake Road to Lexington. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
It's warm. It's going to be warm until Tuesday. 50 tomorrow, 48 on Sunday. Right now it's 45 on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Talking movies with our friend Charlie Oakes, the Gen Z movie critic, with us in studio. Charlie, I want to talk about the Oscars because I have seen most of these movies now because of the SAG Awards. So I get to vote on they call it the Actors Awards now. What do you think will win Best Picture at the Oscars?
I think Best Picture is going to be one battle after another. But I would also love to I loved everything. It was such a great year for movies.
I thought it was surprisingly good. Watching sort of the award scene movies, a lot of good stuff.
A lot of good stuff. I'd love to see Sinners win it, too.
I like Sinners a lot more day two.
Really?
So I saw it, I enjoyed it, and then after I had time to marinate on it a bit, I liked it a ton more.
I understand that.
Because it is a weird movie.
Yeah, it's weird. I think when you move past that on the second viewing, you already know what you're getting into, and then it's like, oh yeah, this kind of rocks.
Because I didn't know. So I usually don't know anything about the movies that I watch.
It's a good thing.
I think so. I sort of like it that way, but Sinners is twin brothers, both played by Michael B. Jordan. And sort of I don't want to spoil it.
I know. It's hard to talk about.
It's hard to talk about.
It's a blues movie.
It's a blues movie. It feels like something's going on, and you're like, it's this interesting character movie, and then all of a sudden you're like,
yep.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a tough one to talk about because it really is.
I think it's worth seeing, though.
It is
I loved
totally.
it a lot. The Leonardo DiCaprio movie is one battle after another. Very, very good.
That's going to be the big one of the night, for sure. I mean, that's going to win Best Picture. Paul Thomas Anderson's going to win Best Director. That's going to be a big hit.
A lot of texters say they have made out at the movies.
Okay.
One texter says, "Of course I've made out at the movie and then some. Who hasn't?" Whoa. Another texter says, "I didn't make out in the movie theater, but I did make a big mistake of taking a first date to dinner in The Deer Hunter," which is a 1978 3-hour-long war movie. And then another texter said they played this Minnesota pork commercial by a radio guy, and we made out the whole movie. Don't remember I imagine.
Yeah.
A lot of people find themselves very aroused because of Minnesota pork. Oh, yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I
you
love
get
it.
Thanks, Charlie. Charlie Oakes, everybody. We'll see you from Florida next week.
Flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?